to Afternoons with Baba. Today we're going to make our little buns, Poopchina in Macedonian. They're a festive little piece of bread, and you usually try to make a poopche for Christmas, for Easter, for special occasions. Most of the time we make our loaves of bread, but today now we're getting ready for Christmas. I will be baking them and then freezing them, putting them away to help me for Christmas Day. This is a container of 5 roses flour in here, and there are 30 cups. So I don't know, usually if you have a small family, you will do 15 cups. You can do 15 cups and then do other things accordingly. Like if you're gonna cut this, you'll have to cut the yeast. You cut 1 egg, okay? So this is our yeast. It's 1 tablespoon of sugar in here and 3 teaspoons of yeast. And as you can see, it's already ready. But before we put it in, we are going to put a tablespoon in this. If you're going to do half, it's only half a tablespoon. So we'll put a tablespoon like that, not full. You don't need too much salt, okay? And then we do about 1/4 cup of oil. We're going to put 3 eggs in there. 3. Now, our hands were washed, but we handled the eggs, so we have to wash again. My hands are ready, and here's the yeast. We will add the yeast, and I will try and measure the water for you. I've never measured it, I usually just pour, so we'll measure the water. So this is a full cup of water with the yeast, okay? And then this is 2 cups of water in here, where we want to get every little bit of the yeast out, right? Okay, so there's 3 cups of water in there. 2 cups of water and 1 of the yeast. 2 more. Okay, so let's begin with that. So you just put your hand in. It's like creating pottery. You're mixing it up, and obviously it's not enough. So we have to add a little more. And that's how you do it, a little at a time, because once you get it all wet, then you have to keep adding flour, and it's a vicious circle. So here's 2 more. So 2 more makes 6. 6 cups of water and the 1 cup of yeast. Eight cups of water, and my teapot doesn't hold anymore. If I need more, I'll have to make more. But I think we're good now. Let's see here. Get it out of the container. I think from the feel of it, I'm going to need a little more water. So as you can see, it's a trial and error. It doesn't matter how many times you've made it. It's always different. You might have a little more flour. It just depends. Okay. All right, now my water's ready, and we're going to put 1 cup first, because I don't want to put too much. And see how that is. So that'll be 9 cups of water and 1 cup with the yeast. Now, as you can see, this is a very large bunch. So it takes a little bit of energy to get it together. Okay, we added another cup of water now while I was working on it. So that makes 11. And I'm just putting it together like this a little bit, and then I will cut it in half, and I will work in two small, because this is really difficult to work, right? It's a big piece. So I think as soon as I feel it's ready, I will cut it. So I'll be back with you in a minute. All right, now I think I'm ready to cut it in half and work on it, and it'll be way easier. So while you're working on one half, the other one gets to rest a little bit, okay? So this one here now is going to get to rest. And you have to cover it up because it'll dry up and you won't be able to work with it, okay? So here's my other piece, and it's smaller and it's easier to handle. See? So there's a lot of kneading. I would say about 20 minutes. So you go and have a coffee and I'll see you later. You're back. I've been working on this for about 20 minutes and it's getting softer. That's how you can tell it's manageable. I made it into two pieces. So you see how much softer it is. Also, I'll try and cut this one to show you how it is in the middle. When it's getting better and you really worked on it, as you can see, it's got those little bubbles and it's way soft. So this is how you know it's ready. So now we're going to join it all together because we have to put it away. So I've got my big pot where it has to be rising. It has to rise. We have to punch it down. And when it rises a second time, we're going to make the little buns, okay? So here's my piece now, all incorporated. It's going to go right inside. Roll it over. And I put oil on this all around. So because otherwise it's going to dry up. So there's a nice amount of oil in there. So now I put the lukewarm on in the stove. See, it's not room temperature, it's a little bit warmer. Because remember, we say the yeast needs warmth to make it rise. So we're going to cover it like this because it has to stay warm in there. And I would say it's going to take a couple of hours anyway for it to rise, and then a couple of more to rise again. Or maybe an hour and a half. I don't know how it's going to work. I've never timed it. You're home when you make bread. So here it is. Nekenierlia Dostanito Poopche, okay? All right, so I've done it. I'm putting it in the oven. I've put a little bit of newspaper. Sometimes if there's a little extra oil and this rises too much, it gets down, and I don't want my stove to get dirty. So it's in there now. So go and have a cup of coffee or go shopping, and we'll see you later. Bye. Welcome. Now it's been 2 hours, and as you can see, look at this. Oh my God, I could barely pick it up. All right, here we are now. Take all this off and down. Oh, there. Do you see that? You go as far, as low as you can. There. Smoothing it out. Maybe I'll put a little bit more oil there. We've lost some of the oil. Yeah, you don't want it to harden. Okay, there we go. And again, we shall cover it up. On the next rising, we will cut it up into pieces and make the little buns. Poopchina taki napravime koliko skokni oščednaš, okay? So probably drugi 2 sati, another 2 hours. it rose again, and it's time to make them into buns. There we are. Don't disturb this too much. You just grab and just cut. You don't push on this. This is nice and fluffy, and you just grab like that. It's sort of like, you have to guess, it's only bread. I mean, it's not a dress you're making or anything, it's just bread. So there we are. And then you make it round like this, and you put it inside here. This has been oiled, the tepsia. Now some people, like my mother-in-law and others, did these in little round buns, 3 little round buns inside the muffin tin. And you got a little bun with 3 little tops on it, which was beautiful too. But the reason I like this is because the poopche ends up soft all around, you'll see. And I love soft poopche. So that's why. When you do it like that in the muffin, it becomes hard, like the muffin is hard all around. So that's why I do it like this. But there's all kinds of different ways. You can also make it in loaves of bread. Yeah. Okay, now I think we've been waiting over an hour with these, and because we have 2 to do, we have to do these a little bit earlier, but they're up to the top, so I think we're good. So now I have 2 eggs here. Imam 2 jajca i vije zbuna koliko tepsijata, rajcne, i все покриємо. Paka so prsite, ki si kvajš jajceto. Se avo jajceto, ki napravi da se pulet the fete. So this egg wash will give them a nice color when they bake. And we're going to put the sesame seeds on top, and there'll be nice little buns to eat with cheese, with your meal. Just plain. My grandchildren just love one of these plain, and they eat it like cake. So there we are. You can use a brush, but I always worry about the brush, and because it might puncture these, and if you puncture these, they'll go down. You have to be very gentle. You don't want to break any one of these. They've already taken their shape, and it's important that you keep it like that. So that's why I don't use a brush. Oti da ne vleziš unatrag, ќе rasipиш poopčето. So there we are now. Stove is on 400. We'll bake it for 400 till about 30 to 40 minutes. Because they're small, it doesn't take too much to bake. There we are. So we're almost there. So when that's finished, these will also be up like that. I'll just cover them up a little bit to keep them warm. All right, now it's 400 degrees. This one will bake for 30 to 40 minutes on 400 degrees. Okay, William? Now, if you have a strong stove, maybe you have to do it at 375, but mine is not very strong, so I bake at 400. So there we are now. We'll wait for these to be done. I'm gonna set my timer for 20 minutes and check it then. Okay, so we'll see you again. Whoa, look at that. Isn't that nice? Now we'll turn it around just in case it's warmer on one side. There we go, see? Very nice. Did I give it 20 minutes? I think I gave it 20 minutes. So we'll give it another 20 minutes. There we go. Okay, now our buns, here they are, getting close to come out. And we're going to do the other one and get it ready because it's time to go and put it in. Tekemo kleme susamo, vaka I via, da se lia da si jajme, sa nogodini božik, so radost, so milost, so zdravje, da si jo prečekame. Ja i drujte kupčina. Така се пули gotovo, ja. So ja i pupčiната сега извадоме. Ще трябва да спотне трол натре от тъпсията и седне ки извам и ки поделай и ки си замрзна за Божик. So, ако аресате кай праеме, напрете си и вие и сузрете си яйте. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.